The Flynn's arcade keychain is back because we're doing another arcade conversion, and that time it is Commando, this time for the Atari 7800 Pro system, featuring some pretty gritty box art that really kind of captures the feel of the game. I dig all the action. I dig how he's throwing the bomb. I dig how the pillbox is shooting at him, even the little motorcycle on top. And check that out, you even have a dude screaming at him. Not too often you see bad guys screaming on box art. Bonus points for that. Let's go ahead and take Commando, pop it into our Pro system, and see how this version holds up. Let's go to the game. Commando was published by Atari and carries the copyright year of 1989, one of the later releases for the system. It's based on the 1985 arcade game of the same name. Commando is an overhead run-and-gun game for 1 or 2 players alternating, and has 4 modes of difficulty: Novice, Standard, Advanced, and Expert. According to the story on the back of the box, you are a crack-shot commando who must defend the free world against a massive enemy army all alone, only armed with a rifle and some hand grenades. So basically, this is a 1980s action movie starring your choice of Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Chuck Norris. Commando on the 7800 is separated into 2 tours of duty, with each one comprised of 4 separate areas. At the end of each area, you will have to face an onslaught of enemies in order to progress to the next one. If you make it past both tours of duty, your game will restart from the beginning. You move your guy and aim with the joystick. The left button shoots your gun in the direction you are facing, 1 shot at a time, but there is a machine gun power-up that thankfully gives you rapid fire. The right button throws 1 grenade from your supply. Grenades are always thrown forward no matter which way you are facing, and are thrown in an arc, so it is possible to throw one right over an enemy. Most enemies can be taken out with a gunshot, but some will require the grenades. You can find extra grenades by collecting flashing boxes. In addition to the machine gun power-up, you can also pick up a knife that allows you to stab enemies with the end of your gun. In practice, this is not very useful since you're more likely to shoot an enemy before they touch you, but it might save you in a moment of frantic action. Scoring-wise, you get 300 points for destroying an enemy soldier, 500 points for destroying a vehicle or a pillbox, 1,000 points for picking up a grenade box, 2,000 points for destroying an enemy officer, and 2,000 points for rescuing a prisoner either by shooting their escorts or touching them if they're tied up. You also get 5,000 points for completing an area and 10,000 points for completing a full tour of duty. You lose a life every time you are hit or fall in the water, and there are no continues in this version, but you can earn an extra life for every 60,000 points you score. Each area also has bonus underground areas that you can enter by revealing their entrance by throwing a grenade at just the right spot. Graphically speaking, the desert-style ground isn't that exciting to look at, but I thought the rest of the game looks great. It doesn't have the graphical glitches of the NES version, but it does suffer some slowdown when a lot of enemies are on screen, which most likely will happen at the end of an area. The sounds in the game are good, but I thought the music was great. This is one of only 2 games to feature the Pokey sound chip on the Atari 7800, with the other being Ball Blazer, which I reviewed in episode 155. And boy does the chip make a big difference. It's really a shame that more games didn't use one, or that Atari abandoned plans to include one in the system itself. Family-friendly wise, there is a lot of action, but there is no blood. However, the yellow graphic that appears over shot enemies makes it look like they're bleeding mustard. On eBay, loose copies go for about $25 to $30. Complete box copies are going for $45 to $65, and 1 new copy sold for $133, and that includes shipping. So what did I think of Commando on the Atari 7800? I thought it was a lot of fun and really showed what the system could do, that it could make great games that could compete with the NES counterparts. While the NES version allows you to continue and has more areas and power-ups, the 7800 version lets you choose from 4 difficulties and doesn't have the glitchy graphics that the NES version does. So in the end, both versions are fun and are really close to each other, but I would give a slight edge to the 7800 version for its smoother graphics and slightly better music in my opinion. So where am I going to rank it? It's definitely going in my top 5. I do enjoy Ball Blazer, Food Fight, and the wonderfully bizarre Ninja Golf a little more, but I think I'd rather reach for Commando than a solid port of Ms. Pac-Man, so I'm going to make Commando my new number 4 game. Commando, it really shows what the Atari 7800 could do. If you enjoy retro-related videos, would you please click the like and subscribe buttons? You can now support the show through Patreon as well. Just click on the link in the description below. Also be sure to check out some of my other videos covering Atari, Sega, Nintendo, more. With over 200 now posted, there's something for just about any retro fan. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody.